So you know what? I'm going to back up my boy here. Christopher Nolan. Don't Let Me Down. Oppenheimer. July 21st. The latest Christopher Nolan movie about Robert Oppenheimer developing the atomic bomb will be the first overall pick in this draft.
Wow. Yeah, I knew you were going to do this because I do know you're a Nolan head. And I think you know what movie I was going to lean towards picking first overall. And it's not the one that we've discussed and has been delayed and also has been anticipated. Similar to like how Top Gun Maverick was like kept getting delayed, push back, push back. Like finally, we're going to get this certain release that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, we just had the Oppenheimer trailer. We had the theatrical trailer and right, the social media trailer that was spread around. Cillian Murphy, this is his time to shine, baby. Nolan, all right, going back to historical type of setting. We know he did magic with World War II and Dunkirk, one of my favorite war movies ever made. Yeah, now this is a great pick. This was a part of the top three for me, for sure.
The
Top
cast,
two.
the cast is like probably the best ensemble we have this year, right? You have Cillian, whatever. Is it his time to get nominated to even win? RDJ. No one's on the bandwagon right now saying he's one of the best actors, not just of our time, but of all time. And we have other actors. Casey Affleck makes his return in this movie, really. And then we have like weird, like we have like other minor roles, like a Josh Peck coming here, a David Dahl Chalamet, so we saw in the Suicide Squad, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Kenneth Branagh. We have a huge cast. And is this Nolan's time at the Oscars? Like, is he going to be able to bring this non-IP, historical piece, summer blockbuster, and carry that through to the Oscars? Will it be his time? We'll see. But all I know is that with the trailer just out now, as of today, January 2nd, 2023, this is like the most hyped movie of 2023.
Not to me, it's not. To you, yes. Okay, I have something different, but this is like an interesting like comeback for Nolan after what is kind of considered it was like a critical bust of some kind, and also box office is almost hard to measure what he did with Tenet, a movie that John David Washington touted as a movie that's going to change the movie theater experience. Did it really do that? I would say no, and that for that reason, it might be a little bit of a failure there. If it came out in 2022, who knows? Maybe there's a more positive reception to Tenet and what it provided movie-going audiences. So in this one, going less futuristic, all right, but at the same time, still about the development of technology and still about right this maybe the most important innovation that has ever come to be, right, with the development of the atomic bomb. And let's see if he can provide a little more of an emotional attachment to this movie, a criticism of most Nolan movies, especially it seems like you're going to get something a little bit here with the Cillian Murphy character, a little depth, I guess, emotionally with this one. Good pick. All right, now I'm going to go. And I think this one, it's not getting the hype that I think people are forgetting that this movie's coming out. And you talked about Oppenheimer's cast. I would probably combat you with this next cast with saying it's maybe the most talented and young, exciting roster we've seen from any movie, and that's Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 should be the most anticipated movie from this year for many reasons that go aside from the cast, go aside from like the celebration of the first movie, all the technical aspects, all the Oscars it did win. We have a probable nominee this year, Austin Butler, joining this cast as Floyd Rotha. He already joins a cast that includes Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, two of the most popular actresses, movie stars alive today, despite their age. Not only that, they have another young star in Florence Pugh, someone who has been nominated for an Oscar, joining this cast. And going like maybe if you want to talk about not just the young stars, but Christopher Walken is playing the Emperor here. One of the most highly anticipated performances. I can't wait to see Christopher Walken doing a more serious movie. Fantastical, all the might, but it's still like it's a serious movie that's going to have award level aspirations. You've talked about before how this is going to be a movie that should contend for a Best Picture nomination. The first one nails all the technical awards. This is my favorite movie of 2021, talking about the first Dune. But seeing Dune Part 2 here, right, completing this story as we assume. Who knows? There's gonna be part 3, part 4, who knows? All right, but we assume it's the ending of the story. Let's see if it has like a Return of the King type of vibe where it gets heralded as a masterpiece upon its release. But Dune Part 2, my first round pick.
This is a great pick and should be the number one pick. Just like you said, should be the most anticipated. The problem is, back to what I was saying with Oppenheimer, there's no hype around this movie right now. This, maybe in a couple months, we get a trailer, we get something else. Then yeah, this will leap to number one. But for right now, like, and yeah, you're right. I think this is going to win. If I had to make a best picture prediction for 2023, or yeah, 2023 or 24 Oscars, best picture winner, I'm picking Dune Part 2. But the hype isn't there right now. It just isn't. So yes, this was in my top 3. This is a part of the big 3 that I was referring to at the beginning. I think this will have a Return of the King critical praise, as in the potential for the Oscars right there, but it just doesn't have the momentum right now. And I think also Denny V, he's back. The added cast that he talked about, and then when you're going to see these rivalries, not really rivalries, but Butler versus Chalamet, Zendaya versus Pugh, who's the best young actress right now going. And this is, we're going to see right now where these people are right now, because this is Chalamet's movie, kind of like, this is supposed to be Atreides like avenging his family and his house, but Butler's coming here, and who can put on a better performance? Like I and same with Zendaya, Pugh. Like I cannot wait to see this, but I just wish there's more hype around it and more talk around it, just on Twitter and in film lore.
I think there will be more discussion as we move, because this doesn't come out till late 2023. This is November 3rd, I believe. I think you mentioned that earlier. But there is also more hype that's going to be generated because there's a chance we're getting an actual Dune HBO show coming out this year with the Bene Gesserit series, the Sisterhood. And that is attached to this same universe. That could help build some hype if it's successful and still has the same tone and feel as the first Dune movie. I think that's going to help generate steam. I didn't like the Bene Gesserit. I thought were interesting parts of the first movie, not my favorite moments, right? But still, maybe they'll help generate some excitement there. Rebecca Ferguson and the crew there, just a weird group of ladies there with the Bene Gesserit. So, but still positive.